Bring back rock.
Hey everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today's band comes via a viewer suggestion. Now I happen to know this viewer, so he's a friend and former bandmate. So you asked for it, you got it, Steve. This band is out of Detroit. The last band we talked about was Hardline. They were formed by the Gioeli brothers. This band is formed by a pair of sisters. A couple of members went on to bigger things, in one case much, much bigger things. They're a pretty fun, outrageous band, and I think you'll like them. Before I get started, though, thanks to everybody that has subscribed, like Dan and Gary and Jitterbug Van and Miss Lissa 5. I appreciate it. And everyone else who has hit that subscribe button, thank you very much. If you haven't, why not? Go ahead, join the cool kids, make my day, and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's talk about Detroit's Madam X. Madam X was formed in Detroit, Michigan in 1982 by the Petrucci sisters, Roxanne and Maxine, siblings that have been compared to the Van Halen brothers. Now don't go nuts. It's never a good idea to compare anybody to the Van Halens, but there are similarities. Like the Van Halens, they are siblings. One is a drummer, the other is a guitarist, and like the famous Van Halen brothers, they were classically trained before hearing that call to rock. Early on, the girls were drawn to hard rock, but it took seeing the all-female band Fanny rocking out on TV to cement their conviction that girls could rock as hard as the guys. The band toured out east and met a New York singer in a band that opened for them called Cheetah. The singer's name was Brett Kaiser. Now, a few months later, Brett would be tapped to take over as their frontman, solidifying the classic lineup of Roxy Petrucci on drums, Maxine Petrucci on guitar, Chris Godzilla Dolliber on bass, and Brett Kaiser on vocals. The band toured relentlessly across the country for about 2 years, even having their own semi filled with lighting and sound equipment. A semi they said was bigger than some of the clubs they played in. Honing their outrageous live show, even garnering a fan in Phoenix that sat in with the band a number of nights, 3 in a row if I remember correctly. That man was none other than legendary Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford. After honing their show, they decided it was time to take it to L.A. and find themselves a record deal. Their first show was at Madame Wong's to an enthusiastic crowd of about 12 people. Now, one of those people was blown away and said they had to go with her to the Rainbow Bar and Grill. They agreed. They wanted to change their clothes, but she insisted they come as they were in full stage gear. They were noticed immediately and approached by a man that worked with agent Don Arden and his label Jet Records. Asked if they had another show planned, and they did, at the Troubadour, at which they were signed to Jet Records. Now, if you're not familiar with Don Arden, he had many famous clients and was known as the Al Capone of pop due to his rough negotiating tactics. He is also the father of Sharon Osbourne. Now, Black Sabbath was one of his clients, and when they sacked Ozzy, Sharon took over managing him, which led to an altercation, leading to her not talking to her dad for 20 years. Now, Madam X released their debut album, We Reserve the Right, on Jet Records in 1984. It was produced by Rick Derringer. It spawned 2 videos, We Reserve the Right to Rock and High in High School, which got MTV airplay. By late 1985, Brett had left the band, and Roxy followed suit, leaving to join Vixen. Asked why Maxine didn't join Vixen ever, actually she did sort of. She filled in on bass for the band on a tour. But she says she would have ruined the band's sound as she loves much heavier metal-sounding rock, but she did a great job filling in on bass. Mark Bam Bam McConnell became the new drummer, and an unknown vocalist from Toronto was tapped as the new singer. That ended up being Sebastian Bach, who soon became the frontman for Skid Row. And just as a side note, I believe the band at this point had the biggest hair on the planet. It was ridiculous. The band was setting up to record album number 2, and Steve Stevens of Billy Idol fame was tapped to produce. The album never came to be, however, and the band broke up. In 2014, Roxy Petrucci noticed a lot of Madam X merch coming from fans for her to sign and high traffic on their socials. She contacted the rest of the band about doing something for the fans. They reunited for the 2014 Sweden Rock Fest. They also recorded a song, another 80s rock song, which is great. Well, one song led to another, and that eventually led to a whole new album, signing to Dave Ellefson's EMP music label and releasing the album Monstrosity in 2017. which in my opinion is a much heavier, darker album, definitely a metal album. It featured Mark Slaughter on some background vocals, Janet Gardner did some guest vocal work, and also Michael Wagner. Want to be impressed? Look at his discography. Anyway, Michael Wagner and Mark Slaughter both mixed tracks on the album. The band will play when schedules allow and are working on a brand new album, a new album that is planned to come out in 2024, with all the classic lineup members participating. So what are they up to? Bam Bam McConnell unfortunately passed away in 2012, but he had many side projects after leaving Madam X, including Blackfoot, Warp Drive, touring with Wasp for a tour, and playing with Sebastian Bach on his solo band and releasing Bring 'Em Back Alive and Forever Wild. Sebastian Bach needs no real update, but he fronted Skid Row at their height in popularity and is now a solo artist. Brett Kaiser formed the band Kaiser after leaving Madam X. He has demos that he's planning to release from those days, and a one-off as an Elvis impersonator turned into a lucrative side hustle. He also has a rockabilly band called 56, and of course is currently back in Madam X. Chris Dolliber formed the band Godzilla following his Madam X days and now is back in the rock and roll biz in Madam X. Roxy obviously is the drummer in Vixen since leaving Madam X and still makes music with her sister in Madam X and on Maxine's solo albums. Also something very cool. When David Lee Roth was forming his solo band after leaving Van Halen, Roxy was invited to audition. She obviously didn't get the gig, but had a blast playing with Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan. So much fun, she said she didn't care she wasn't chosen, but was told she did great and was one of the top auditions. Maxine is still kicking ass on guitar, releasing solo music, 3 albums so far, and of course is now back in Madam X. All right, so that's an update on Madam X. Let's get to some music samples, and I will catch up with you at the end of the video.
What will it make of me? I'm sick of books and dirty loves. It ain't my cup of tea. There's got to be a better way to learn to live it in a decent way. Stop the dream and stay away. And may not hear the teacher say you're high. You're high in high school.
right, so that's a little bit on Detroit's Madam X. Now, where can you find them? Find them on the streaming services. Physical copies, even though We Reserve the Right has been re-released a couple times, as far as I can tell, everything is out of print. Even Monstrosity is out of print. So if you want physical copies, you're going to expect to pay a little bit. They're not outrageous, but they're not cheap by any means. So as always, I want to just say thanks to everybody who takes time to watch these. You guys rock. I appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next episode.